Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed you. Hey! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your heart. What's happening, blacks? I'm back from the motherland. It's me, your homegirl, Adosha Wright, aka Lingel. What y'all know about that Lingel?
Oh, Lingel.
Lingel Key Lolo. It's official. It is official. It is official. It is official. I am a Lingel. You guys call it a queen, but they don't really like that term. They say Lingel, not
That's
queen.
right. That's right.
You have to say Lingel because there's a difference between queen and Lingel. So it's just a translation.
Lingel.
So it's Lingel Key Lolo. That's right. Coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio, by way of the Gambia, and we're 177 episodes in. I'm with Cheryl Morrow, the hair oracle, and tonight with 177 episodes in, it is all about exposing the disinformation about natural hair fresh off the airplane from Gambia and Senegal. And Cheryl, I have truly missed you.
Oh my God. It was just like crickets.
Did y'all miss me? I miss LB. I miss my peeps. I miss WK. I miss Sam. Man, oh man, I'm still on Gambian time. I cannot,
are you serious?
I am. I cannot. I'm ready to go to bed. Can't y'all tell I'm a little sleepy? I'm just out of order. I've been trying to get it back together. I had 2 days off, but I'm still not there. But anywho, thank God for these glasses because I'm telling y'all. Ooh.
Man.
But anywho, I missed y'all a whole lot.
Man.
What's the chat saying? Michelle, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Black Beauty of... Hey, we trying to get you on the show, Samantha. I'm going to inbox you immediately after this live. We need you on this chat. I'm telling you, we need you. We need you. We need you. That's my next spot. I need to get over to Nova Scotia.
Oh,
She's like, come on. What's up, Kay? Weekay, what's happening? I see Chrissy. I see you in the chat. I text Chrissy like, Chrissy, hop on the chat. Like, LB, they didn't have no bologna in the Gambia. LB, I was over there like, oh, I'm feeding them because they don't have pork. It's a Muslim. I mean, they can have beef bologna, but they don't have. Who has some good bologna though? Morocco. Now it wasn't pork. I'm just saying. We were in Casablanca, and they had some good bologna. I ain't gonna lie. It was a little pimento. Remind you of Big Mama and them. Back in the day, Cheryl, with a little peppercorn in there. Hey, they black in Morocco. Let me just say this. I did not know Morocco was that black. I don't know why. Y'all know I'm from the hood. I ain't never been nowhere. But they blickety black up in Morocco. Like what they showed us on TV with the, the flaxen hair. Nah, they black in Morocco. They down for the crown in Morocco. They ain't. Hey, I know what y'all gonna ask. What was they saying about everybody? Once they heard us speaking English, they was like, "What's up with that Negro Trump?" I'm like, listen.
That's why I don't know where. That's exactly why
everybody wants to know about Sandra. I'm here to tell you. I was like, I don't know nothing about no Donald Trump. I can't begin it. I didn't vote for him. He got bad skin. His makeup, his hair. Ooh, good Lord, $8 nickels. I see you, Erica. I hope you got your plaque. Let me know if you got that. So it's nice to see everybody in the chat. Y'all showing up for us because tonight, woo, we got something for y'all. It's a wonderful, this is going to be a powerful podcast tonight. Now, in case you guys may not be aware, some of you are probably new to our platform, but tell them, Cheryl, isn't this America's favorite podcast about Afro?
It's America's favorite podcast because we keep it real. We're going to always take it to the head. Put the nail, drive that hammer time. Bam,
Hammer
bam.
time. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. I got a clip for that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Cheryl said we got it like this.
Stop. Hammer time.
So yeah, we keeps it 100 here. And tonight, on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair, let's welcome everybody from Facebook. Hi, what's going on LinkedIn? How you doing, LinkedIn? I missed everybody on LinkedIn, my YouTube family, and then of course Instagram. How you doing over here in IG world? What's up, Rochina? I see you. I see my family from the Gambia. What's up, Fati? How are you? What's going on? And Dress for Success has joined us, which we're going to give some shout outs to before we get into the topic. But as we build, I sent Cheryl a link because I was, now listen, if you have Verizon, you're not going to be able to travel abroad because Verizon was like bootay, okay? Everybody, I know what Rashida's saying, not again. I know, Rashida. I could do no posting. So all I could do was go live. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see everything. But anywho, so now that I'm back, I'm like on social media overload. And so I'm on Instagram and I see the founder of Curl Mix. I don't know, Wike and Sandra, LB, all my naturalistas in the chat. Michelle Allen, I don't know if you guys, Michelle, I'm not quite sure. Welcome, babe. Erica, did you guys know that Curl Mix is in they're in a situation where they need what was it, $20,000?
No, 20,000 orders.
20,000 orders. And now I kind of misinterpreted what I thought they needed $20,000 maybe to just kind of help them get, a foot, back on balance. But Cheryl pointed out to me that they need 20,000 orders. And I'm trying to figure, because they were like on every single, whoever was doing their what do you call that? Like their media, man, they've been in. Yeah, but they were in every magazine. They were on the BBC. You could not turn your TV on. Definitely international. This young lady was jamming with
because internationally, they don't have a lot of choices, so they're absolutely trying to get the 20,000 orders from, I guess, overseas. It's hard to probably get it from the American market because we have so many choices.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the Curl Mix. And this young lady, she's a young girl. And man, it's just, I was shocked. Yeah. And they have on their website like,
right, 20,000 orders. So 20,000. Right.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, 20,000.
I don't know why.
Well,
and the only reason why I'm saying this because they
the category is gone. The category is gone.
What do you mean? Like, help us out, because this is a good segue into our topic tonight. So when you had the category
has no more
what
scale.
That mean?
Yeah, there is nothing else to give that customer. You've given them enough conditioners, you've given them enough shampoo, you've given them enough curl puddings and souffles and all that junk. The category is just the bubble has burst. And so there's just nothing else to give the demographic. What else does the demographic want besides what the question you asked? And you're going to get to that. Hopefully you'll show it. But at the end of the day,
wow,
that texture transition.
Wow. So when you go to their website, they are at Oh, yeah, you got to change your name, Hattie Mae, because I don't know who Michelle Burnside is, but anywho, Hattie Mae. Oh, Chrissy said they're oversaturated. Is that could
Oh
that
well,
be it? Sure,
right. The category cannot expand. There's nothing else unless you're going to do texture transition. They don't like chemicals. There's nothing else to get that demographic, that tribe, that ecosystem, that buyer. There's nothing else for them to buy, right? And so if they have fit about 500 different choices, that just means that Pearl Mix does not have what we call the golden, standard for times like this. If they were, let's just say, tissue, but when we go buy tissue and we wanted to blow our nose, we buy Kleenex because Kleenex has the preferred gold standard.
I see.
Because none of those brands in that natural hair category have the golden standard.
Wow, that's deep. I
so
get
there's
it.
no
Like
preferred.
puffs.
So now
you got puffs and you got Kleenex. Oh, I see.
You understand? And so when you go to natural hair care, and when you're going to creams and puddings and all of those creams and no one of those brands have a gold standard, what we called most preferred. So when we say, well, what's most preferred? You know what's most preferred? Out of all of that, something that is 40 years old, and that's pink lotion. So any of those customers, they're not, you can't, Curl Mix does not have enough brand position, and they don't have enough customer asset, most preferred. So now that they're begging for 20,000 orders, what they're actually saying, we need customers.
Wow.
So what they're going to do is diversify the orders. Let's just say the average order is $45. Do 45 times 20,000.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got this. 45. Wait, oh, that's the clock. Hold on, that's over here. Okay. 45 times 20,000.
Make sure that you use your decimals. $45. 45.00 times.
Okay. Oh, that's 900. Oh my God. Jesus.
So in other words, instead of phase 4 fundraising or seed money, not seed money, wouldn't be seed money, but for raising capital, instead of them begging for another $1 million to run their company, no investment company is not going to just give them $1 million without a bunch of equity, right?
I think
and so at this point, there is no, because the category is not growing. The shampoo, it's not growing. It's on the decline. And so when the airplane,
Erica is saying in Beauty Under One Roof, she said it's over. Let go my bosses in the chat right quick. Hold on. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Drop them L's. My boss checked in on me like, get ready to go live tonight. I was like, yes, boss. Y'all drop them L's to my boss, the cute boss, by the way. Look how cute she is with her sister, Judy, the late, great, wonderful Judy. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you, Chrissy. Dude, that's a lot of loot that they have to come up with. And Erica says that the brand it's not even known in the Houston market. So let me say this as we segue into our topic, which is, this is a great, this was a great situation here to kind of get into it. Is this something that you're saying that people who, like, let's just say, like, I have my private label brand. Is this something that people who want to do this, that they should ascertain to become what you call the gold, the brand? Or does that happen through how the consumers buy you? Like, how does one get to that? I know you like really, Dosha, but I'm just, seriously though, for real.
Well, it's a double-edged sword for Black hair care because
Oh.
Black hair care is wired through the salon, and or barber stylist, the institution, not retail. Because if you understand retail, and then we'll put it this way, one of the retail problems that we have in Black hair care is that we want things to last.
Yeah.
So
How many people can
retail,
relate to that?
right?
Put a
So
yes in the chat.
how many times? So when we buy a 16-ounce bottle of shampoo, the circle of how long that shampoo bottle is in before we throw it away, that's 3 months, 4 months.
That's how long it should last. I mean,
But
realistically.
what I'm basically saying for in the European world, that would be a month.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They
So
wash their hair way more.
Right. So my point is that our industry gets taught to have ideas, do it, and don't have no beauty, corporate, business, C-suite, executive experience at all. That
Wow.
our industry is enough for us just to have an idea. And then what we end up doing, and because believe me, I saw her video, she is miserable. She's tired of the company. She's exhausted, but she wants to try to hang on because I'm sure her ego. But of course, these people are not beauty people. They're just Black, who has Black hair, right? Who had a good idea at the time. They went on Shark Tank, and then boom, that sealed their fate then. Because at the end of the day, Black people, that shit gotta eventually work for you to be successful in hair care. This is not makeup. It's a matter of you applying it, and then you can do it different, and then you just, with a few lines and circles, you can compete on colors and smoothness and tech. No, Black hair care, that shit gotta work in ways that really set you apart from the competition. Either it makes your hair really super soft. It's got to do something. And unfortunately, the brands of 25 years ago, they just don't have enough cosmetic. They just don't have enough experience. They got in it because it was a boom. They got into it because it was a big bubble and it was growing. But unfortunately, that's just not enough to come out in none of those brands. Not one of them. And like I said before, they're just not going to get legacy. They're not going to go to a legacy brand because the category in itself is just retail.
All right. So let me interject with this question here. I mean, Kay Washington, I was going to go there, and then we're going to hop right into it. So sure. Like, why you putting it all on my way? I am too. Cause I'm gonna get you far accused because I hear what you're saying. So I'm like, Kay, so are you saying, Cheryl, Erica said it's over. So Kay is asking, are you saying the natural hair products are over? And then far accused is saying, I thought the specialization of a product, was one thing that was doing well, and it's dangerous than diversification as far as competition, which I would have thought that too, by them being like a specialty. But you're kind of like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you saying that that ship has sailed for this natural hair care industry, for lack of better?
Well, think about it. What was the main product between 1962 and 1968? It was called oil sheen. Or oil, ultra sheen. And so you had a paste and you had a spray, right? What else was we going to grow the Afro in? Because the Afro needed to be dry in order for it to stand up, right? So it's not that you could put some water on that shit, right? So there was no way to grow it unless you were selling like Dad. He had at least different. He had the Afro sheen. He had the sulfur 8. He had, and then he had the set of Afro teas, Afro comb collection, which was $3 to $4 or $5 the 6 different Afro picks set. And so he was able to weather the storm. When dovetailed into the blowout, then he had the Afro comb, hot comb, right? He had the hot comb with only a few teeth. He expanded it when the appetite and the desire of the customer.
I see.
Then
Wow.
he added, but this customer is now regressing. They can't comb it. It's matted. It's dry. So the companies are not. They're not
moving.
They're not only a good word, but they don't have the cosmetic savviness to change because they just got in it for the mere fact of the bubble and the demand and the trend and the popularity and the women making decisions to do the big chop and blah, 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 blah. When now that the novelty of that is gone, how do we move them forward? Now that they are so insatiated, now that they're insatiable, they don't know what to do. All they know is that they can't comb it. It's matted. They don't like the way it looks. They know they don't like how labor intensive it is. It doesn't last. They're tired of washouts. They're tired of this. They're tired of that. Now, who is going to step in and let's say, fashion houses do it all the time. When the brand's getting a little funky, they get rid of the creative director and they start going into a new direction. Black hair care companies, for some reason, they don't have the vision and the model to be able to
they're not.
move.
So in other words, too, what you're saying is they're actually not on the pulse of their consumer, for sure, because your dad was.
They just, she just asked, oh, excuse me, can you buy the same thing you've been buying for the last 5 years?
But if their hair care needs are changing, then they're not. What's up, Juju? I see you in the chat. What's up, Juju? It's going down. It's going down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just hoping that the customer stays the same in essence.
Right.
But they all change. They all go back to the relaxer. They always go back to it. And we are, because me and you talked about it, and we're trying to move it forward and getting the things better and safer. That's what we're trying to do, in terms of.
All right. Well, let's move into it. We got a good bill. We got about 23 minutes in. My homegirl Juju is in the chat. So what I'm going to do to get this build on the topic, again, 177 episodes in. And tonight we're going to go ahead and expose the disinformation about natural hair. But before I do that, let me just kind of share with you guys a little bit here, just some images here. Here was this wonderful welcome reception that we got from the students of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. Now, again, you guys can go to all of our social media page. Jolanda, aka Juju, has the bomb stuff on her page, and there she is right here with the braids. There's Kilolo with the bootleg Kente leggings, and then there's my sister Monica. So we were the delegates representing the Textures Intercultural Exchange 2025. All right. Also, I have to give thanks to about 15 key donors who made this venture possible, starting off with Cheryl Morrow. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for your generous donation and the information for Afro Hair Science. So y'all drop them hand clap emojis in the chat. We got Terry Horn, Susan Hall, the Roberts family, Rev Air, Remy Beauty Supply, Sam Silks, Oreo Beauty Supply, Melanie Butler, RDT Hair Salon, New Champion Barbership, Waverly of Urban Cuts, Miss Juju, the good Juju. She gets an extended thank you because she taking it to another level. She did it right there. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Then, of course, my former boss, Terry Ali, and of course, my real boss. She's still in the chat, Lavina. Thank you so much, Lavina, who made sure that I could eat. And boy, did I eat. I ain't gonna show y'all my butt. Anywho, and then of course, last but not least, Miss Rashida Ali. So thank you guys so much. Let me give you guys one big fat round of applause because you guys definitely did something wonderful and amazing. And so, on behalf of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy and Complex Eva and Senegal, we appreciate everybody's donation and everybody in the chat who donated. Thank you guys, because all of your dollars definitely went to good use. So now let's move into the topic here about Afro hair care. Now, I'm going to make this specific to Gambia and Senegal because, as we say, the continent is not a monolith. So what happens in Chad, what's happening in the Sudan, what's happening in, Nigeria, all of that, Burkina Faso, is totally different. So this conversation is specific to my experience in the Gambia and Senegal. So the first thing that I want to point out is that when we talk about this situation with curl mix and everything, and everybody saying it's over and all this, that, and the third, I have to tell you guys straight out the gate that
wait. Before you start, do trigger warning.
Oh yeah. How can you do that, Cheryl? Because this gonna hurt some folks' feeling. It really is, but I have to do it. We have to, because what we're doing here in America is not African. The locks, the twists. I mean, everything we're doing is so un-African, West African. It's pathetic. So we're going to start. I'm going to use some clips to kind of work the conversation down. But before I do that, let me just say this. First and foremost, what you have to understand is that in Senegal and the Gambia, hairstyling originally was never meant to be commodified, meaning that the goal of it was never going to be an actual business. Because remember, they were colonized, but they were not bedfellows with their colonizers like we were here in America. First and foremost, that's one. Two, hairstyling was used in those two locales, okay, for nationhood building. They did hairstyling with each other to establish rules of the nation, gardening, housing arrangements, how the village would be set up, who was who. So when you were getting your hair done, the women were building the nation and the men would be out, protecting and, that kind of stuff. So that you have to understand the backdrop to hairstyling. Now we move into modernity and they see, our brothers and sisters are over in America. They've commodified this, so perhaps we could do it too. But in this process, things got lost. The first two things got lost was the comb and the pick. So what the first thing we saw off the rip was the comb and the pick is not as readily available, accessible, and how to use it. So all of the stuff that we're saying here in America about the locks and the twist, they have no idea of what we're exactly trying to do. They're watching it. They see it on YouTube. They see it on TikTok. And they're trying to emulate as much as they can, but they don't have the same premise. So everybody out here calling themselves African, whatever. Salon.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Did they express to you that? Did they ever ask you what was our fascination in creating the ideology of like identity around it?
Yes. They don't even understand. Well, for one, we have a climate situation. So for one, in America, because it's cooler, you can go hot, cold, it's not, and we have air conditioning. And Senegal and the Gambia, they have it, but it's too hot. So the beautification is not going to be the same because you're dripping sweat all day, every day. So catcalling and face, all that cuteness and queen, all this queen and king, that's not gonna work because you're so wet and you're so sweating and you're busy and you're working. They're not very superficial in those regards, not because you're not cute when you're sweating, you're wet, but because your hair, you're living in that. So you cannot be as superficial as we are here in America. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have facets of being superficial, but it is nothing compared to what we have here in America. So when we see people, particularly locks and your natural hairstyling, those are the community of people here in America who, to me, they exploit the Africanness like no other. I mean, we would jump on white people for cultural appropriation when it comes to braids. They have no concept of cultural appropriation because they believe in sharing cultural stuff. So how could you get mad at a question? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Y'all
Because
talk about questions that.
let me ask you another question. Because they honor differences and because they honor tribal or factions or understand different countries and different cultures and things of that nature, you're saying they don't have a need to create an identity like we have because of racism.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Right.
They can't even grasp how racialized we are. We are different. And we had that big issue, with the Essence, and everybody was getting mad because they said that, Essence couldn't go Africa if they tried, not West African. That just was, America really went a little extra on that because we're not going over there. We're watching too much stuff on social media and TV. Like, for example, we were in the boats, right? Remember this, Juju? So the boat started out. We were in the big boat. We had to get in the little boat. Now, we got in the little boat and it took us off across to the big boat. And I seen these little bubbles of water. So I'm like, what fish are those in the water? They was like, those aren't fish. Those are crocodiles. I was like, nah. And I'm like, crocodiles? Y'all got us going across this. Won't the crocodiles like eat us up? And they were like, would you please stop watching National Geographic? So it's things like that. Like, everything that you're probably being taught about West Africa is more than likely, from an American situation, it's going to be a lie. A Western. You have to go over there and experience it for yourself. Kay, I'm telling you, I was like, oh my God. So when we look at things like locks, braids, and all of that, that's not African like what we say it is. Locks for sure are a definite not African. I'm going to say it once and I'm going to say it again. Jolanda is in the chat. I have some pictures here, okay, that I'm just going to show you. So here I am explaining to them about the Wall of Honor. So this is the classroom that they have, in my honor. But this, again, is because of you all's donations. And this is why we have to have these conversations. And they know who these people are, by the way. They had already did their homework. When I pointed, they was like, yeah, they was like, George Washington come up, Ladasha, Eddie Turbo, Dr. Willie Morrow. So they had already done their homework. So they got that. So here we are. Let's use this here. With the young lady, we're trying to teach them how to do starter locks with gel and the comb coil. So you can do your comb coils. When I tell you they thought that hair wax was gel. And they considered gel water.
What?
And they could not understand for the life, why would you try to style and create or start something with water when it's the worst thing for Afro hair? So Afro hair science was very befitting, seeming as within the framework of Afro hair science, Cheryl is teaching water is the enemy when it comes to hairstyling. So while they don't have that scientific part they do now, they innately understood you do not want to put water on the hair. So they were not even interested in gel. That's number one. Number two, it's too expensive. So a 99-cent jar of gel, we can get like six to 8 ounces for under like $3. Over there, it's like $7, $8. So that's never going to work for them to use that type of a product because, for one, it just costs too much and it's not feasible. They were fine with the mousse because it wasn't like wet like the gel that looked like water. But they couldn't understand why they couldn't use the wax to actually form because their hair is really tight. They don't have the admixture of blacks and whites. So everybody's hair is like, ugh. I mean, even the baby's hair. Like in America, Cheryl said the babies go through 3 stages of changes. No, that hair comes out like tight pepper, just as a newborn. So it's very different. And I think what I would say in exposing the disinformation is that if you are in America and you're using this whole African, you're putting on your African stuff and you're queening out, please just take some time, guys. Even if you just get online, befriend one of them and let them help you because it's disingenuous. Is that fair enough to say?
I don't know if it's disingenuous. I think that in orphan mentality, we grab onto things to belong, and we look like them more than we look like anybody else on the planet.
True.
We don't look like anybody else, and so I guess in our defense, I mean, and I know we spent a long time. 437 years, along 1619, but we were here in the 14th century. It's a long time to be westernized and having to conform and having to restrict and having to, be small and having to contort and conform. But I don't, us trying to remember and to get back into some semblance of balance because they don't have intercultural negative exchanges. They don't have natural intercultural who's more African because at the end of the day,
they don't. They don't have the good hair, bad hair. You're right. They I don't want to go too off into that, but they don't have it. So you said so people don't spend hours upon hours doing their hair. No, it's too hot. They can't sit underneath the dryer, right? I did do the one young lady. I did teach them how to lock hair without the clips. Like those types of things are that's just never. It's not going to work. It's not. Thank you, Cheryl. It's not feasible for them to take the hair and lock it and put those clips and sit underneath the dryer. It's too hot. They could tie it down because
that is a commercialization of a process that is Western. Locks are Western, the way we do them. That's a Western hairstyle motif.
Yes,
that is not African.
Right. That's perfect way to say it. Right. And so it's too hot, but you can do the palm roll or, whichever technique you want without having to use a dryer, and you can set it by tying it down. But that would be for women. Men are not going to rock the do-rag. because the women, they wear the hijab. So women may be able to do that a little bit more than the men. So I didn't see a lot of do-rags over there. And again, it's just so hot. And when I tell you, you sweat profusely, you just sweat all day. You have to keep a cloth on you. It's just that hot. That's just what it is. We look over here. Here were some things that we were able to do, by the way, Cheryl, with the Afro hair science. Yes. So versus going over there telling them what to do, we asked them, what are your needs? So let's go through the chat and let's see, using this image here, I'm going to take it back down because we can't see Cheryl. What do you think the number one, I asked them, what's the number one service that people are asking for in the Gambia and Senegal? What's the number one, the most requested service? Because we need to make Afro hair science fit into what they need. So we would not go over there telling them what to do. So let's see if you guys can help us out in the chat.
Yeah, let them get.
Yeah, let you guys. Let's see. Let's get it going. In the meantime, we're gonna hit the don't forget to like. I see our co-host is in the chat. So while you guys are asking, let's put in the chat, what is the number one request? And Jolanda, because you were already over there, be fair. Don't give it all away. So let's see, what's the number one request that they're asking for in Africa, in West Africa? What's the number one? In the meantime, let's take a moment out while you guys are typing. Cheryl, go ahead on and let's hit show them what they need to do right now. Here we go, guys. Bam. Pampa me on, pampa me on. It's coming. Hold on, let's try it again. Pampa me on, pampa me on. All right. What's the number one service? Like, what do you think that they were looking for? Now, I'm going to play another clip because this is what some people are having some issues with when it comes to some hairstyling in Mama Africa. Here we go.
Actually, the experience that people talk about, I don't think I want to go through that in Africa. And what's actually very sad is that, especially West Africa, majority of us have 4C type 4 hair, but 4C hair. And yet the people who are in those countries, in that continent, cannot care for 4C hair. I don't know why they equate 4C hair with aggression. Because when I watch these videos and I'm seeing people like pulling people hair, this level of aggression, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how I would feel as someone who is in the natural hair space. And I really emphasize the need to care for curly 4C hair and how to be gentle to it, because it's actually the weakest.
All right. So we definitely have to say off the rip, they have zero concept of 4C hair. They have no idea of what you're talking about. That would be a myth. That I'm not saying that there aren't people who are not aggressive with hair, but they are not aggressive with what we would call 4C hair. So some of these things are just not true, no more than somebody in America who could be, rough. So I would not go as far to say that. The combs and everything, that's a whole nother conversation. We'll go there. But sure, let's see what the chat says. What is the number one service that they were looking for? We got Fatua's in the chat, so that makes it all the better. All right. So here we go, guys. You're going to be surprised. The number one service that they're looking for. Let me get my little clip here. Okay, here we go. Oh, is that it? Oh, no, that's not it. No, it's not. Oh, shoot.
Key Lolo. That was the main one.
I know. It's not. Let me see. It's got to be on here.
Main one. My.
I got it. I just got to find it. Hold up. Jesus, this dang on thing.
2026, we got to get Key Lolo a producer. We're going to get
Oh, we got it. We got it. I just gotta go over here and pull it. I thought it downloaded, but I guess it didn't. But that's okay because I have it over here. So let me just pull the video up right quick.
It is fascinating. I saw it, and
yeah,
it's I mean,
oh yeah, keep talking. I'm just looking for it.
Number one requested.
The number one request.
Any other answer before you show them?
You can look in the chat while you're saying I saw relaxers was in there, and I saw some braids was in there. Just waiting for my pictures here to populate here. Sorry guys, but it's gonna be worth the wait when we hear
the answer.
Because I got like a gazillion pictures.
Well, that's why sometimes you just upload them to YouTube and boom, you just go to because that one was.
I had not thought of that, but
yeah, because you have the YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah. All right, here it is right here. I'm going to see if I can share this. Yeah, here it is right here. Let's see if it'll let me share this. Okay, let me hit. All right, let me see if it'll let me share this.
I gotta rewind.
Rewind it. Here we go. So, give me the top 3 requests that we get for this hair. Like when they come in, what's the top 3 things they want to see done with this hair? Anybody just shout out? Number 1?
Jelly curls.
They will?
Jelly curls. I say jelly curls.
Jelly curl. Oh, jelly curls. Oh. All right, so there you have it. I had to call Cheryl because Cheryl, I put Cheryl to the test and I asked her the same question. So, and now this goes back in full circle as we were talking about this curl mix and how Cheryl said it's at its cap with the natural hair. They're kind of like, they're going to go back to those chemicals. Now, we're saying going back, but now remember, it never left. The only problem in West Africa is that they don't have the access. So the number 1 request for service for 4C natural, whatever y'all want to call it, hair is the Jerry curl. Number 2 was braids, and number 3 was they do want to learn how to lock the hair. So that was the top 3 hairstyles. Now, within the framework of Afro hair science, what we came up with is that they can use Afro hair science to analyze Afro hair, treat Afro hair, alter or color Afro hair and repair. So that was their goal in using Afro hair science. So when we go back to this picture here, what can they do in the Gambia to make them so that they can have more money? Now remember, it's hot. So we have the neck fans, right, Cheryl? In America, there are a plethora of them because it's so hot and they don't use AC like we do. Notice around her neck, I have the air conditioner. What do you call these things? Neck fans, I guess. So this is a service that they could offer with their hairstyling service, is to put this around the neck of the customer, because the salons, not all salons have air conditioning. So this would be one. No, they cannot sit under the hair dryer. So some of our, again, our Americanness, it just won't work. It's so hot. So that's one. Two, like I said, the locks, we did this with conditioner, and we did not use any, she couldn't sit under the dryer, no clips, and she tied her hair under the hijab because they are going to cover. Not all, but I would say 80% of the women cover. So that's number 2. 3, when it comes to wigs, another thing that we hear a lot when we talk about exposing the disinformation about natural hair, and Cheryl helped me with this as well, was they get accused of wearing wigs to try to acculturate again or try to be white. I saw it the first time and I couldn't quite articulate what I was saying, but they don't wear wigs like the way that we wear them for the reasons that we wear them. They're more so going to take a picture and they're going to take it off. And so, Cheryl, can you explain that phenomenon of the wig wearing that I was struggling with?
Yeah. And once again, we talk about it often. It's the language barrier. The cultures, the East part, because of course, Africa, the continent, is in the East. Our concept of anything that has tributes, attributes, phenol traits, any type of trait, any type of feature that belongs to our oppressor, if we begin to synonymize or wear or purchase anything of the features of our oppressors here in the West, we think we're trying to be them, right? And LaDosha was explaining to me that that is not the case over there. They want access and convenience, which is the same feeling a person picks out a costume. We want to wear that costume, but we don't want to be that person. We don't want to be of that person. We don't want to change our identity into square and square up and trade. And it's coming from this inner negative place of maladjustment, and you have a problem and you need cultural therapy. They're not doing it for that. They're doing it for the moment of pleasure, for the sake of the luxury.
Right. Yeah, like when we were driving through like the districts or regions, we might call it remote here in America. You could see them with their selfie stations, and they put the wig on and they do the selfies and they go live and they take that stuff off. It's not what I mean, and I hear especially Black men.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. They're not trying
them to get from one moment to the next moment, and so they can feel a different emotion and look different and feel different. Over here, it is such a indictment.
And it's a status. Like, if you can get this, we want to buy, like, what's the wigs? We want to buy the like Remy or human hair. I don't really wear weaves, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
We've even put status on certain
Yes.
textures, a
Like
luxury
bundles.
status, a luxury tax.
Yes.
And the taxation is giving up all of our internal African center just for an hour's moment of wanting to costume and feel differently. It's the same thing as
Right.
that I want to wear today. I want to wear black today, or I want to wear purple today. Or I want to wear this, and I want to, let me just dress it up today. I'm just feeling myself.
Right.
Black women don't get the luxury in the Western world to do that. We
because
always have to be making a statement that is indicative of the entire pillars and infrastructure of the movement, the struggle of the nation. And they're not. No, it's just soft, wet, and pink there. It's just
it's like she said. It's like we wear a hat. So when they wear, they like they weaves now. Don't get it twisted. They got the weaves.
They like straight hair. They like straight hair.
Yeah, they're just like she said. Yeah, they just gonna put it on, and it's too hot. I want to let Cuban put it on before they go live. They'll be, let me put it on right quick, and then they take it. As soon as I brought the camera, they were like, wait, put my wig on. Okay, then they take it back off because again, it's so hot. I cannot begin. Like, you can't really wear makeup. Forget trying to smell. I mean, I was putting on deodorant. They were looking at me like, girl, you don't stop putting that damn deodorant on. It ain't gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to be cute with your Spanx. They're not gonna be. You can't wear that stuff. So they don't care about that. Let me tell you something. Here we go. Next one. We rode. I hope you're still in the chat, Jolanda. We rode 6 hours in the blazing sun from Gambia to Senegal. And I'm talking about we rode. We had to drive there, okay? And we had some AC for a minute, but remember, it's so hot. So you can't run AC like you run it in America, okay? Unless you got like a brand new BMW or something. But anywho, I digress. So we're in our van, our bus or whatever, and we're driving for 6 hours. We get off and they said it's time to go teach. And we're like, we will not be teaching. We have to go to the hotel. We have to at least take a shower. Can we at least? They was like, for what? It's just gonna be sweaty all over again. We could not grasp. It's not that serious. I mean, my vanity was stomped on, Cheryl. So now we have to go into the class to teach. So here we are, fresh off the bus. Now, mind you, this
Nike,
sweaty, smelly, they don't care about that. They want the knowledge. I'm not interested in what you look like, what you smell like, where you from.
Absolutely.
I want that knowledge. And when I tell you, I just had to let go and I was like, I'm so funky. I'm so sweat. Y'all know I got my eyebrows drawn on. No, I could do none of that. No mascara, at least a little, what you call that stuff you put on? Foundation. I don't really wear a lot, but I do put a little bit on. No. And it was just like, no, you need to come and teach. So this was this was the large class, right? So we got finished and I said, well, if you want, I could go to another class. And I said, oh, yes, you could come to the small class. Now, the instructor, let me get his name correct. His name was Eunice. So here's Eunice taking us to the small class. Like, oh my God. So this is Eunice here in the peach color, leisure suit. And when I tell you the class was packed, you look at the hairstyles. There she is, with the wig on. Again, when we're talking about locks and all of this stuff that we're saying that's just so African. Again, I have to reiterate, this is in Senegal and the Gambia. If you go, I'm not quite sure how it rocks out in Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. You know, I'm just talking about these two places. I would say, again, we want to reconsider some of our use of terminology and associating it with Africa, because these things are just not true. So here I am, and you have to have a translator. So they speak French here in Senegal. Fatou speaks French. She speaks Wolof, a little Mandingo, and English. Fatou was on it. So there we are. And so in this class, how about we ask, what was the number one service in Senegal? All right. And the name of this school is called Complex Eva. And everybody, please go follow them over on TikTok. Just a wonderful school. Now, their schools are not like our schools. As you can see, they don't get to have blow dries. Remember, this stuff is too hot. You see the fan up top. So their schools is just straight knowledge. You ain't everybody, all these locticians, get y'all butts over to Africa and help our brothers and sisters out. They do not have all of these resources. So let's start off with Senegal. What was the number one service request that you think they wanted to learn in Senegal, which is different? Now they call it Senegambia. So in the Gambia, they wanted the jerry curl, they wanted to continue with the braids, and they wanted to continue with, they want to learn how to do the locks. Also, let me mention this about the braids. They have different braiding techniques.
Yes.
So in America, all we know is traces. All of our hairstyles, our braid styles, we're doing 3. And we're always on top. Baby, all y'all braiders and stuff, y'all, because now I will say this, Cheryl, they were asking about this whole alopecia thing because they don't have that over there. Now we're always accusing African braiders of giving American women or us alopecia, but they don't have that. So, and that's because their braiding techniques, they don't do them the same. They don't do the big box braids. They don't use the term one hair, one follicle, but they innately understand that, Cheryl.
Right.
So we talked about that. So those big, like those wicks and all, no,
Scalp, plait,
no,
placement. Not section, tendril, plait placing is so important because the scalp is attached to your nervous system, and it does have receptors, and it's quite sensitive. And so, plait placement, in what section, how large section, how many hairs to pull in from where, are the sections, equally, proportional? That all that matters. And how much tension, how long are you going to keep it in? How long do you desire to keep it in? And all of these styles, are you under 13? Are you of the mature age? Is the scalp healthy enough to handle, that over 3-strand cornrow French look that we tend to do in the Western world? And so,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they just don't. I'm not saying they do have the box braids and the knotless braids, but they have various techniques. We only just do one here in America. The wax, you know how we put the wax, and they don't. I mean, they like that we had it and we showed them, they were able to use it, but they can do those services without so much, because it's so hot. So you can't be putting all that wax, and it's just not going to work. So again, all of us here in the States who love this thing called natural hair movement, which they have no idea, no concept.
What do you
please, you need
think
to
that
go.
have you asked them what they think of the word natural?
Yes, yes, yes. They think of the word natural the way that we think of it in the world of cosmetology as virgin hair. So it's
Chemically untreated.
virgin hair, right? Because they want to chemically alter this hair. They do relax hair.
They
They're
believe
not.
that the fiber should be altered.
Yes, they, especially with it being so hot. Now remember, guys, they're trying to make money too. So they definitely understand if that's a whole nation
They
of
understand the
braiding
commerce.
hair, they like,
Absolutely.
well, we ain't gonna make no money braiding hair. Because they can go anywhere and get that done. I mean, I'm just saying, they're like,
You in the motherland,
really
you know what I mean?
you're in the motherland, so you may not want to really be trying to be a braider, and everybody braids hair. I mean, I'm just saying, y'all, so they want to alter this fabric and they want to be able to be a part of what they're seeing here in America, because sure, you pointed out that from the plantation we built this commerce of hairstyle.
Absolutely.
Now they didn't have the plantation experience.
Yeah.
So their hairstyling concept is different.
Well,
and they're trying to.
It's from culture. It's from something innate. It's something that is inbred. It's the naturalness is how the naturalness comes in naturally, how they should see it. That helps them determine their choice. Because the choice in and of itself to be Afrocentric is to want what you want and to be okay with what you want, and you're not having to compromise what you want. That's
or explain. Yeah.
That's the naturalness to them.
They don't kind of get like, you're not going to be berated. Like for my hair to be straightened and colored, they had no problem with that. I was just as African as they were. In America, in the natural hair community, I was ostracized. I was told that I could not even literally sit with them because my hair was altered with hair color. So they don't have that. I'm not saying some people couldn't look and be funny, but I never felt that. I just never felt it at all. So here, let me just show this other clip here. Here's another clip.
Maybe it is more of like a African American culture to have the afro picked out with the fist up, like I'm Black and I'm proud. So I have been living and traveling throughout the continent of Africa for over a year. And one thing that I want to talk about is the perception of natural hair and how it may differ in different cultures, because I went out with my afro today and it definitely attracted a lot more attention, but some people were kind of looking bewildered or maybe like fascinated. Some people were giving me dirty looks, like it was like an immediate reaction to give me a dirty look. And even when I get my hair braided in Kenya, or even I got my hair braided in Botswana also, they wanted to blow dry my hair bone straight just to get braids. And it's like, why is it mandatory for my hair to be bone straight to get braids in Kenya or Botswana or all around the continent?
Yeah. So it's that type of mindset that comes from America into Africa that can be confusing, because that hairstyle that she wore is not a Afro hairstyle. That would be considered unkempt. That's no.
And we're not trying to trigger, the listeners, because you have to remember, you have to take in consideration some of the missing elements of our human experience. We are westernized. So everything we do, our impetus and our modus of operandi is to neutralize trauma. They are void of that trauma. Now you have to remember there's a distinction between those taken from the land versus the land taken from them. And so you still have your core. You're still rocking with your traditions and your ancestral connections and spiritual chords, of, for lack of a better word, but you're still working from wholeness. We are working from void. And so and even in our mastery and brilliance and excellence in terms of industrial formation, allowing it to reunite us with our Blackness between the decade of the 1960s. But what our genius is not in always trying to define and get close to Africa, because we don't have to do that. They're not requiring us for us to do that. No one's requiring us to do that. Our brilliance is that we have been able, in the belly of the beast, to create avenues and in industries, and to create wealth and paths of wealth, streams of income, things to be able to eat and feed ourselves. We are that, but we are to now go back, because Kilolo is about to tell y'all something else that just gonna blow y'all out and blow you guys out of the water. We we now have to return it.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like Kafele is saying, I hate the need to blow dry. Again, we're taking some things for granted. And this is so hard to articulate. So Cheryl go clean it up. Cheryl go clean it up, all right? So I'm gonna throw it up, and then Cheryl gonna clean it up, all right? So here's the thing. When it comes to the actual, because remember, this hair is like a fabric. So their concept with this fabric is for all practical intents and purposes. They're not into all of this, it's natural. And so if your clothes are wrinkled, like if this fabric, when you see this, before it gets woven into this, it's a little cotton ball. And in order to get the cotton ball to this, they have to do what?
Blow dry it.
They got to stretch it out.
Yeah, right.
So they are made
all of the strands that make up the fiber that gives it its texture. You have to have them going all in the right direction, which is our version of stretching, and that is what makes cotton polished and feel soft, and then you get to weave it into other patterns and colors to make different patterns.
Right. Because when you look at different, yes, exactly. When you look at different hairstyles in various parts of Africa, no matter what, aside from a cornrow braid flat to the scalp, they are stretching that hair away from the scalp, and they are going to bind it down either with some type of a clay or a braid or some type of a pomade or a special concoction, like you got your shebe powders. They have so many different ways to keep that hair elongated out, because you're going to alter the fabric to create something, be it a lock, a twist, a braid, a flip, a crimp. You have to move the hair out. It's only in our American minds where because in America, we don't want to comb our hair.
But
and in Africa, they want to comb. So when we ask the question, what's the number one request? The number one request of service for hair care in Senegal. And I'm going to help you out, Kafele. The number one request, let me go back to a picture here. Let's go back over to here. So here I am answering the number one request. They want to comb the hair. Why does Afro hair matte? What makes it hard? They want to be able to get through it because they know that money, when it comes to money, it's time. And the longer something takes, the more it's going to cost, and it's just not worth it. It's too damn hot to be sitting in these spaces all day long because you want to keep it quote unquote natural. They need to get through this fabric. So here comes the reality. I do have a clip on that. I think I got it. Here we go. Give me the top 3 requests that we get for this hair. Like when they, oh shoot, where did I get it? Dang it. Where is it? So this one here, oh gosh, I don't know. Was this the one? I don't know why these didn't upload. So with this one here, I want to keep you guys. I'll find it while I'm talking. So the clip here, the young lady they didn't even know how to use the pick. Let me just say that. They had no concept of how to use the pick at all. They were, I mean, when I pulled the pick out, I think I got a picture right quick, Cheryl. I could show that. The pick was something of like the Holy Grail. They had heard about the pick. They had seen the pick, like on TV and on YouTube, but they did not have access to the pick. So let me see if I can find some images here. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought all of this stuff was uploaded, but apparently it was not. But the pick was something that they don't have access to it. And
they said,
I have my reasons why. Yeah, there were no words that they could find. Like they didn't know how to pick out hair. They didn't know how to hold the pick. I mean, all of these things that we keep hearing and saying, and in Senegal, they wasn't even aware that the pick was introduced to Dr. Willie Morrow in Senegal. So we had to tell them that if it wasn't for them, we would have no pick. So let me see if I can share this image here of the young lady. Let me just take this one down. Of the young lady, they couldn't believe, like the pick was like Nzinga's golden stool. I mean, they were like, oh, I mean, they were gasping, like, oh my God. They don't even know what they have. These kids has never worn an afro, Cheryl.
What?
They've never worn an afro. No, they wear their hair like natural, but picked out and all of this. No, guys. We blow dried her. We showed her how to use the Morrow pick comb, and we did the blowout, and we showed them a pick, how to, wear the afro in this way that we wear here in America. They just wash the hair and they let it go. They have what they call English combs. So we have Afro combs. They have English combs. So they don't have access to the combs like, we think they do. So when you talk about the need to blow dry the hair, there you go, Kefele. It's just for all practical intents and purposes, given whether you're going to lock or style the hair.
Wow.
So here's this clip. Let me just show this one right quick. You have to you have to stretch that hair out. So let me share the screen and show them using the pick. So here we go. Here it's still spinning here a little bit. Gambia, and you're learning how to pick Afro hair. And in America, they think you guys already know how to do this. Now pick it, now pat it out. All right, and this again is Dr. Morrow's pick. Look how much fun she's having. You like that? She likes that. This is called a blowout. And so again, you need to use the pick, and that's the difference between a comb and a pick. You pick it out. You can also bring it towards your face a little bit. Take the front. See how you can do that? Can you see that? Beautiful. Look at her hand. She went into I got this move, Lola. Get on out the way. Just like that.
Yeah.
All right. Good job. Wait. All right, step back. All right. Give her a round of applause. All right. So let me just say this too about this clip. The other thing that they were just fascinated is that the Afro stayed. See, the hair didn't go back down. And they were like, oh, that's what they were saying. That's why they was like, they wanted to rush up and touch it because they had only known the Afro to be packed down and condensed. Now these are young people. So now maybe if somebody was like 50, they would be like, girl, they late, they tardy for the party. But now remember, these young girls are like under 20. So they had never seen this, guys. And to see that the Afro would stay, that's going to stay in that way. They can sweat and that Afro is going to stay. They understood they have to plait it down at night. They want to comb the hair. So in Senegal, the number one concern that the service they want to do is to comb the hair. They want manageability. They're looking for conditioners. They want combs and they want picks. And the Gambia, they want the same thing. They want Afro combs and they want Afro picks. They are using what they call English combs. And so what would be an English comb? Let's see if I have any other time I have a comb. So the smaller teeth combs that we use here are like a rat tail or an all-purpose comb. They also have the rake. They hate the rake because they know the rake is going to snatch out the hair. And ironically, in America, we love what? The rake. They don't want the rake. So this chat is on fire. I mean, it is on fire. So again, we're exposing.
This is so important, LaDosha, for us to go into 2026. And we kept telling them how important Afro hair science was, right? And how the legacy and how we are heirs and we are to carry this torch. And first of all, I want to commend you for going. I mean, it takes, if that's a trek, it is literally a pilgrimage. You know, it's a trek, and it's devotion and commitment to taking the trip. Absolutely, with no doubt about it. And just want to thank you for doing it.
But I would not be able to do it without. And thank you, Sandra. You guys, this is a good time to hit that thumbs up button. So good question, TC. So how did they think we did it over here? They see us with, now remember, the internet isn't always, it's kind of suspect. That's one. It doesn't always work. Two, they may not know how to, they may not know how to ascertain the information to get it like we can get it over there. Okay. So they know that we're using the comb and they see it, but they don't have access to it. And this is our goal. Cheryl and our goal is to get those combs to those schools. So that's going to be our ministry for sure, is to get them to have access to the combs. And I thank you guys so very much. So how well so those English combs work on their hair? The English combs don't work, but that's all they have. They make it. It don't work on our hair either unless it's straight. But remember, this all they have. How do they parting? Yeah, how do they detangle hair? They don't. And that's what they want to know how to do. So we're over here like that video she was saying, I don't know about West Africa. We're taking for granted that they have these things. And I'm telling you guys, they don't. And I would say in that colonizing process, when they when they went and they marauded these tribes and these villages, and they removed their ability to be able to comb their hair, that stuff was lost. And for some reason, I think when Dr. Morrow came and left, they did not have a way. What do you call, can I say manufacture? Sure. Is that okay to say that they couldn't mass produce the combs to meet the demand, because in your smaller,
you said it best the first time. To commodify something without a capitalistic system, how was you gonna think of it?
Come on.
So you don't have capitalism. You don't privatize art and culture and history. It's ancestral. Belongs to everybody. So we had to get reunited with the comb that left us during the Atlantic slave trade. I mean, literally 400 and some odd years later, Ghana, this Robert Bell goes to Ghana, West Africa, of course, and brings it. And my father says, that is the strangest shit I've ever seen. What is that? And he said, it's a comb. He was like, whoa. And then that became because 2026 is the 60th anniversary of the Afro comb commerce that we built, not the one with the fist. That's not black.
Right. That fist. Oh, and let me say this about the fist. Cheryl, I know y'all like, don't you always kiss Cheryl ass? I'm telling y'all, hey, they not with this. They're with this. They have a symbol with the hands out, the fist out. Never again. That solidarity thing, because they know that they not really trying to unite with us. So their thing is hold your fist out. And let me just take you out right quick, show so I can show them right quick.
No doubt.
So their fists are out like this. Never again. So that whole thing about the Afro pick with the fist, now that's the most un-African thing. Like some of this stuff.
The fist is not black.
Just yeah, right. But we think it is. I'm just saying. I mean, do your thing. I'm not telling you.
And I know it's a symbol.
Pipe down.
Right. And I don't think Tommy Smith and John Carlos, I don't think they meant for it to be black. They just wore a black glove so you can see their fist. And they were just trying to show you that they were, in solidarity and all of that in terms of the struggle. But African money, abundance, wealth, influence, power, prosperity, generosity, health, wealth, all of those things are feminine. Meaning they're soft. They're not doing. They're not performative. They are. They're you know what I mean? It belongs in the emotional, intelligent world. It doesn't belong into the doing and labor. And so as we manufacture it, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish that point. I want you to finish.
As we remanufacture it, we're my Comb Black own, and that's the program and campaign that LaDosha is talking about that we're going to really spearhead and kick off 2026 because it's the 60th anniversary of the Afro comb commerce in North America. Now we're giving the comb back. Now it's going back transatlantic the other way. And we're giving barbers and hairstylists the opportunity to make money off of our original comb design, our original industry before Romani, which is another Italian company and guy who, kind of co-opted and corralled the fist and comb. And now there's a company called Eden Enterprises, which is out of, I think, Illinois. And then the comb is made in China. we have to buy, we have to stop buying symbolism. And the trip that LaDosha made and the sacrifice that she made to go is firsthand. It is no longer, we're going into the age of Aquarius. We have to stop doing symbolism and do wisdom and ancestral practices that is conducive to our affinity, that's conducive to our pathology. And that
because because the other thing too is like they have capitalism, but to your point, Cheryl, it's capitalism with a socialist and communist like undertone that want the comb to be accessible to everybody. Like I remember when I was, this is how I became a hairstylist, right? When I was an outreach worker and I was going into those homes, we were removing the kids, and they're like, God, your hair look good. And I'm thinking to myself, we taking y'all kids and y'all talking about my damn hair. Like, am I missing something here? And I remember asking the families, like, you know, like you would be able to keep your child, but you didn't follow your reunification plan. Like, what's going on? I can see the families coming back through. I'm just making this a full circle, right? And I said, what are we missing here? Now, this is just the LaDosha experiment. I'm not going to take a broad stroke and paint it across social service or social ills in America. But in my little area, right, when I asked, why are we back here with you being your children removed or you relapsed or whatever their situation was, the number one response was their hair. And when I asked, what is it about the hair that we're missing? And because I thought, I'm like, hair? Like, are y'all serious? I'm serious. I'm like, are you guys? And they're like, that's easy for you to say because you have access. And everybody in America do not have access to no damn comb. And we sit up here on these platforms and we do, and they don't have it in Africa either. And I felt so fucking small and so arrogant and so pompous to think that everybody had access to a comb and know how to use it, and they don't. So how we dare not frown upon them for not having a comb and not knowing how to use a pick or a comb when we don't have it here in America either. We got a whole podcast called The Dumbest Shit That People Say About Black Hair because Black people in America got access and niggas don't want to comb it. Now, this is something that is not limited. It's bigger than what we think it is because I see the comments in the chat where we're understanding that colonization affected people differently. But when they took that nationhood building that took place during hairstyling that was not meant to be commodified. That was a social arena that was private. It was sacred. What's the word I'm looking for?
No, it's a social construct. It was, and
it was for
cultural, right, and for cultural cohesiveness.
Yeah, they used hairstyle, right? They used hairstyling to teach the kids how to listen, how to follow directions, and you know, the women were coming up with ways of where the huts should be situated. Like we're building a city. The women did all of this stuff while doing hair. It was not something that you was going to make money. So here we are in America on this plantation. We got to make money. We got to try to work and fit in. So we use the hair. They didn't do that. So now we're here in America where people, there are combs everywhere. Me and Rashida was in the store we called Cheryl, and they could not find combs in their own communities here in America. So it's really not all that different. But we can make a difference with this comb, like Cheryl said, by taking it in full circle and giving them access. They understood how the oil could lay the cuticle down. They know that shea butter is not what they should be using on the hair. They know that, but that's all they got. They don't know how to refine it. We could help them with that. They can't buy curl mix. She could not take that to the Gambia and make a penny. It costs too much.
Yeah.
It costs too much. And so these are very simple. These are simple things that they can do. They understood how to clean the hair without water. That's the other thing. They don't all, even though we have, you can use water to help, rinse the stuff away. The water sometimes shuts down. And we can't perpetrate like, I can't be over there because I got to have my water. I don't know about y'all, but I done have my water and my lights and my gas turned off. Not because it was shut down, because my mama couldn't afford to pay the damn water bill. It's people in America who live like that as the norm. Haiti, that's why they come up like Cheryl's product, how to cleanse hair without what? Water. We need that not only here in America, but they need it in Africa too. There is a way to clean hair without water. But we frown and we look at that like, oh, no, I'm telling you guys, different context, but it's real for both parties. And we have the ability, like Cheryl said, it's 60 years coming into this. And the students at these schools, the school owners, shout out to Pa Amadou Fao, who owns the Complex Eva in Senegal. These gentlemen, they want to put these women back into their rightful places because they understand that's where women should be. And if you listen to all of the United Nations speeches from all of the representatives, be it presidents or whatever from Africa, you will hear a constant theme that women have to be in those positions of influence. I don't want to use the word power, but those men know that.
Those men are not afraid. They're not westernized to the point where they're used to women, and they're used to understanding the feminine energy and the masculine energies of what in the correspondence and how they work together. They understand that in order, resources in of itself is a feminine energy. What meaning all it is that it's receptive.
Yes, they want.
It is better to give than to receive. But in Africa, it is better to receive. In other words, you must have in order to help.
Yeah. And even like in becoming, here's the thing, here is in becoming Linguère, right? So Linguère translates into queen, all right? So when we think of queen in America, we think of royalty, bloodline, hierarchy, that kind of stuff.
Heritage, lineage,
That's not how you're going to become a queen, okay? You're going to become a queen by what Cheryl just said. Your ability to give not only to your immediate seeds and your immediate community, what can you do for the world? What can you do beyond your scope of reach and, access? What can you do? And they began the process of you becoming a queen right where you're at. So look at my face. I'm like, what y'all doing? I'm trying to teach a class and y'all coming. They said, it is time. It's time for what? And Fatou said, I told you we were going to make you Linguère. Now I'm thinking of the coronation. Y'all know what I'm thinking. I'm going to get the rose petals. Y'all know I'm all Americanized. I'm going to get the crown with the diamonds and shit.
You going to get the coming to America.
I'm getting a queen to me. It's not happening like that. This is the queen in her essence. This is Linguère. This is where she's at. And this is how I ended up. Bam. And the whole process, it was just overwhelming. I was like, how many more beads can y'all put on? How many more? What y'all doing? And I just
the symbolism. You see the symbolism. It's not about male and it's not biology. It's that wealth and resources are feminine. And our people were forced to only be masculine. We were only labor. We were only slaves. The root of our back, the sweat of our brow. We didn't have consciousness. We didn't have a soul. We didn't have look at my goodness.
Look at that, guys.
God. That is Lingard. You are resourced. Full.
Yeah, so my sister was in Jola. So she has the beads and the ball, the offering and everything. And it was just, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And then we have Jolanda here. So there she, look at Juju, y'all. Oh, look at Juju. And so this was their cultural night. And so we learned so much more about all the different cultures, the different sounds that they make. These are not sounds that we think is just like, no, those are sounds of prayer, of protection, of well wishes, of abundance. So it's yeah, it was just like, what, and they collect money, like they just always throwing money at you. And on your birthday, we sing happy birthday every when they cut the cake, right? We just want to be the first to cut the cake, right? Well, in Africa, each person at the party has to feed you a piece of the cake and tell you why they're happy for your birthday. So I was like, oh my God. So here comes everybody with a fork. I love you, Lingard, because of your beauty. I love you, Lingard. And I'm up here like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So it was just so I think we should do that here in America. It makes birthdays way more special than just cutting that piece of cake. Imagine if you invited 100 people to your birthday party and 100 people had to come up and serve you that cake to remind you why getting older is a blessing. I mean, it was just, oh my God. I mean,
sometimes
no
overwhelming.
Words.
It's literally, I'm just letting you know, when you go for the first time, all you're going to do is cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
All you gonna do is cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good cry, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right, LB. It was definitely an honor, definitely an experience, but not the superficial way that I was kind of used to it, but that I became familiar with rather. So now I know they don't they were asking like, why y'all calling each other like queens and kings? And I'm like, I don't know what that's. I don't know what that's. I mean, I think I do. I think we say it because we're trying to like boost each other up a little bit.
It is a
like a term of endearment. Yeah.
No, so, but it's about encouragement. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I told them that it's more like us just trying to lift each other up, and they said, "Well, you need to make them do something. They just can't be saying that on GP." But anywho, so do something. So when we had to tap Black Give Back. Let me just take you guys through a little bit. So this was the original library at the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy, and that was in Bruceby. Okay. And so now here is the new and bigger and improved. There it is. Look at that. So that's you guys' donation. So everybody, if you think $1, your $5 or $20, it definitely counted. And so there's the right library of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. Now, Jolanda did a lot of teaching in here. They use this now to teach business management and the formal table setting and all that. So this is now also a classroom. And so they have 3 new computers that's here. So the library is bigger. Thanks to Miss Sasha. We got to definitely thank Miss Sasha Beckett Abdullah of ABC Reads. She sent over some wonderful books. So we do have some new books. So give it up for ABC Reads. By the way, you can follow her. She's right here on Facebook. So make sure you go and check her out. So in conclusion, this is what the class had to say to you, Cheryl. Here you go. very just, sorry guys. But Cheryl, you are just such a wonderful person. And thank you and your father so much because we all need it. It's not just us here, in America, but as you guys can see, we all need it. And, you know, both schools and faculty is very, very appreciative. They don't like crying. They think crying is a form of weakness. So I had to kind of bring it back. So they like, you got to stop crying on Kilolo. But, we are Americans, so we just kind of tear up a little bit, but they don't like that. So this is the school owner of the complex Eva, and his name is Pa Amadou Fao. He invited us to his home where we had rice jollof like no other with the eggs in it. They will claim the rice jollof in West Africa. Sorry, Nigeria. They're saying leave that stairs. They've made that abundantly clear. So here are the students outside. Now this is on Facebook. Sure, if you go to my Facebook page, they're saying thank you as well. We're saying merci beaucoup, Madame Cheryl Morrow. So I don't speak much French, but I do know merci beaucoup. So those were some of the students at Complex Eva, and that's in Dakar, Senegal. We did, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, we got a lot of write-up, a lot of press. So Gaye Njorro and U.S. partners to redefine Afro hair education. And Cheryl, you definitely, that title is very befitting. They definitely noted her father's contributions. So in Africa, they're recognizing, if anybody has any influence in the media here in America, we love to get the same write-up here, that U.S. partners with the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy to redefine Afro hair. Yeah, so we need to get the same press here in America. But we're trying. Yeah, we're trying, but we could not do this without any of you all support. And this has been just a powerful learning experience. We're going to go back. I don't think I want to wait too long, but we want to go back. Jolanda and I are working on this so we can make it happen a little bit more often. But the goal is to continue the intercultural exchange. We learn from them. They learn from us. Absolutely. I know we don't have all the answers. Nobody in America is saying that they do. But I just wanted to come through to just expose some of the mis and disinformation because it's not servicing them well. They don't have no more than what we have. And they have it differently and we have it differently, but we need each other. I'm kind of like in the spirit of Frankie Beverly, no matter what we do, we are one. And so we need each other. And I thank you all for believing in Cheryl and I and the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. This is the one, you remember how they say you put the ripple, just drop the penny and it ripples. And as you guys can see, your contributions and your support is making that ripple turn into a serious monsoon. We got a serious wave going here. And sure, I'm looking forward to working with you and getting that circle full. Mr. Amadou was not aware of the Afro pick and coming out of Senegal, and he really wants to do that. So we're going to be working with him to make this happen. He was just honored. I mean, he was just. The story. Even through the translation, it was just. He was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they did not know, and look how old he is, right? So he's got to be close to our age, Cheryl. And he was not aware of the Afro pick coming out of Senegal. And he was just literally almost moved to tears. I mean, and like I said, they don't like crying. So if you can move that man to tears, you know how powerful what your father has brought to the world.
Well, who would have thought 1619 up until 2019, and then an additional 6 years that we would be healing ourselves by giving it back.
Thank you, Elmira. She said use AI to write up some press releases to send to. Thank you for that advice. I appreciate that. Yeah.
And to be,
Yes,
can you imagine
required time. So thank you guys.
460 later?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And for us to be the honorable ones to do it. Incredible.
Right. So if you want, again, make sure you guys we have so much footage. Cheryl and I, we are gonna make a short film to kind of capture some of this. Maybe we'll do a Ken Burns style with a little bit of footage in there, mix something up there.
Some voiceover from you.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to do a little short film about this. Thank you so much, R Clock and Wike and Sandra. You guys have definitely made a difference. And thank you so much, TC. It's our attempt to reverse the program of nothingness of plantation ethics. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This is our goal. And it's the trip. The trip isn't an annual thing, but I think we could. I mean, we only need about 5 people because I got to tell you guys, this is not, it's a trek. I like the word that you used. This is not a trip for the faint at heart. If you have a weak constitution for heat, you can't move, you can't go fast. Language barriers, food. The food was the bomb. I don't think nobody gonna have no problem with the food.
Baby, that's Senegalese, that West African cuisine.
The bugs is like whoo-wee. I didn't do the mosquitoes wasn't that much of a problem. You could take one shot. By the way, everybody was asking how many shots you had. Just one shot. It cost about $200. And you take your malaria pills in the morning. But nobody had no stomach issues. They're very clean, but I think if you want to do this trip, you just gotta, gear up, be in good shape, have an open mind, and be ready to give and be ready to learn. And the love is like no other. Like Cheryl said, you ain't been loved till you tell us, Cheryl.
Man. I mean,
love is something else. Yeah. So check us out.
They put it on you.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, you ain't had no love until you had some African love. And I'm gonna tell you right now, yeah, man, they love on you like no other.
Oh my God.
Make sure y'all, like I said, follow us on our social media. We also, by the way, before we close this out, we had a wonderful opportunity to connect with the people from the One Vision project of the Gambia. This is a initiative in one of the smaller villages in Africa, where again they are empowering women to grow their own, food and all this other wonderful stuff. So you can check them out as well. Go over to my Facebook page and you'll be able to see what they're doing as well. So donations help with that as well. So we did a lot while we were there. We did a whole lot. And so we're going to be back here on Thursday with Auntie Dr. Joy. We're going to highlight the One Vision Garden Initiative as well. And we're going to talk about African fruits. We had the bubble.
Yes.
Y'all know about the bubble tea and all that. All that's out of Africa. I was like, what? Yeah, so the bubble tree, all of that's coming out of Africa. The star fruit, some plums, some special interesting fruit we had over there. We pigged out. So we're gonna have Auntie Dr. Joy highlight some strange but regular fruits that we don't necessarily eat here in America. I don't know if we have access to some. I know the star fruit is here. But anywho, so we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's here? Okay, all right. It's really, I didn't taste it to the end. I know, the xenophobia was getting the best of me, but at the end, I was tearing that tea up. So the Bible drink is it's the bomb.com. Everything was good. The jollof chicken, Juju discovered. We got Kentucky Fried Chicken. They have the jollof chicken, which was really good. They use thighs over there. We like chicken breasts. They like chicken thighs and chicken legs. So they're not a wing. They're not into wings like we are. They're not into wings.
Okay.
That's it.
So did you get the chicken yassa in Senegal?
No, I had goat in Senegal. Oh my God.
Excuse me.
I know. I had go. Oh, we had Barracuda, baby. Let me tell you. That. Hey, I was eating that Barracuda like this.
Man, they got some fish balls and
Man, they gave us this one fish. Here I go, sure. There's some good chicken. It's like, that ain't no chicken, that's fish. I'm like, this ain't no chicken. The food was blazing. I mean, we met two wonderful. We met a gentleman by the name of Hamid. Hamid, I hope you're out here watching us. Hamid bought a t-shirt from us, our brother from B-More. And we met another gentleman. I forgot where he was from. So, yeah, we met some wonderful brothers along the way. They were on their way to the Gambia doing some wonderful things. So, to our family, our Moroccan family, the staff at Sky.
Man, we got to get that Moroccan family going on,
the Moroccan family was off the Richter scale. So Morocco is definitely, a wonderful place if you want to check out Morocco. So yeah, we're gonna keep this going and maybe not wait so long. Yeah, that tea is it's from Africa. So they're like, what? I know. I was like, girl, bye. Yeah. So there you have it. So everything, the goat tastes like better than steak. Okay, it's just very good. All right, Cheryl. I love you so much. Hey, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget, hey, share this with someone. It's a different discussion. This is very powerful. And if you have something, if you're watching this post the live, feel free to drop your comments in the chat. We are going to try to get some students on. So we're going to see if they can stay up late and come live with us. I had Mika, my interpreter. I had my Wolof interpreter. I had my Mandingo interpreter. So we'll have them speak some Wolof here. We're going to be learning Wolof, which they let us know. We need to speak another language. They said that's another. That's one of our colonial tongue. Yeah, that's one of our other problems is that English is very limiting. So that's another problem that we have in trying to understand them. English is very, very limiting. So I am going to learn Wolof. It's probably in our best interest. All right. Okay, sure. I think we did a good job. What do you think? All right. Okay. All right, guys. Let's do one more time. That big thank you to Cheryl Morrow on our way out the door, because we just gotta let her know just
science all the way.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So let's hear that one more again.
We got to get them posters. Yes. We got a lot of stuff to take back and to give back, because Africa has given us so much.
Yes, and thank you, Fatu. Thank you, Aliyu. Thank you, Mata. Thank you. Awa, the best chef on the planet is Awa. So thank you so very much. And everybody in the chat, we say we're signing out, right? We're always talking about how a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But remember, if you ain't got none, don't want it, can't stand it. Hell, you plan on cutting it off. You got them bald patches. Hey, don't worry about that, because all of that is beautiful too. And so see you on Thursday when Auntie Dr. Joy, as we talk about strange fruits. All right. Thanks, Cheryl. I love you so much. Y'all have a good night. Cheryl, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
It was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed her. Hey! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.